Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. Sky Sports recently dropped a video, Start, Bench, Sell, including some Paris Saint Germain players, and I thought to myself, let's react to it. Let's jump into it. So, first here is Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, and Barcola. And from watching this video, it was a bit weird how they're basing this, because they said, because of the UCL performances. So I thought to myself, alright, it's basically just a UCL review, but it's not, because they're bringing up stuff from this entire season, so it's on entire season. And then when it came for some players, they mentioned stuff that happened last season. It was a bit weird how they were doing the start, bench, sell. Sometimes, they had on sell, not the best, maybe the best player they had on sell, but because he's old, it was a bit weird. But Vinny, Rafinha, Barcola, I myself, for this season, would do Rafinha first. That's a clear one. Barcola second, and Vinicius Jr. third. This guy had Rafinha first, Bradley Barcola second, and Vinicius Jr. third. Start Rafinha, bench Vinicius, and sell Bradley Barcola. I mean, this wasn't the worst take out of all the takes they had this time. Second up was striker, Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Harry Kane. All three have had some of underwhelming seasons, especially in big games. Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, I can agree with that. It's not the worst one. Even though Mbappe has not been, up to standard, neither has Haaland or Harry Kane this season. So I can understand this one. Next up was Gyökeres, Alvarez, Guirassy. A bit weird one. Again, because you have to think about it. These people don't watch any of these teams. They don't watch any of the games. They just watch the Premier League. That's the only league they know. That's the only league they care about. So it was really weird to listen to them talk about these players when they haven't watched the games. They say like some good stuff, like Gyökeres has been good. Then they mention some couple of stats. They're like, Gyökeres has scored this. They haven't watched Alvarez, Guirassy, or Gyökeres. It's just numbers. I'm a casual. Gyökeres, Alvarez, Guirassy. Alvarez, Gyökeres, Guirassy. Yeah, I'll probably put Alvarez, Gyökeres, Guirassy. Next up, obviously the biggest one. Mohamed Salah, Ousmane Dembele, Lamine Yamal. If anyone has watched these players this season, you obviously know Salah, according to the casuals and even though he's a penalty merchant, I can understand his first with the stats that he has and everything. Dembele second, and Lamine Yamal third. I mean, it's already ranked there. But these delusional people have Lamine Yamal as bench for some reason, because they haven't watched him. And even when they talk about him, I know they haven't watched Yamal. They're like, this guy, he brought up the Euros. But I thought this was only going to be about this season. This guy says, I saw a clip of him dribbling. He looked like Messi. It's just casual takes, but this was obviously the worst one. Listen to this.
The PSG aspect, I think, is where he's probably let down. I'd say career choices very often are a bad idea to go to PSG. If he was anywhere else, I think he'd probably be further up the list.
What kind of argument is that? What kind of argument when you're trying to decide who's the better player and then you say, if Dembélé was in another team, I would rank him higher? Are you just saying that I hate PSG? That's how I took it, because especially when you have Dembélé and Yamal, like Dembélé left Barca, went to Paris Saint Germain, is having the absolute best numbers he's having, not just in the league, the so-called Farmers League, even in the UCL. He's never been this good in the UCL before. And he knocked out Barca, his former team, last season. So, even though his move, what club he's playing for, doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all when we're talking about ability-wise, these players, how they've been performing this season. Second of all, it's even wrong. Dembélé made a great sporting decision going from Barca to Paris Saint Germain. So it's absolute just delusion, agenda. First of all, they overrate the Premier League heavily Premier League bias. Second of all, they don't watch these players. They see one clip. They see some stats. It's absolutely disgusting. Next up, Declan Rice, Gravenberch, and Joao Neves. All right. I think Joao Neves lost. Again, look, if they were basing this on what they've done for their career or something. But yeah, this is only for this season. So only for this season, I mean, this guy was a little bit better. I think Gravenberch has been very good for Liverpool this season. But obviously, Neves has been the best midfielder in the world this season, alongside Pedri and Wirtz and the likes. Better than Gravenberch. Second of all, better in UCL performances. I don't care about the Premier League. And he's also been the best signing of the summer transfer window. But I guess they only watched the City game. I mean, he was exceptional in the City game, but they've only watched one game. I mean, that's why this guy put Joao Neves ahead of Declan Rice. I mean, it's just laughable. It's just laughable, like the pure agenda and hatred they have against Paris Saint Germain. Just don't talk about players. Do a Premier League start, bench and sell. If you do a Premier League start, bench and sell, first of all, I wouldn't care about it. Second of all, it would make sense. Why? Because you constantly watch the Premier League. You know about the Premier League. Now you're ignorant. Putting Neves below Declan Rice? Declan Rice? All right, moving on. Jude Bellingham, Musiala, and Wirtz. Or I myself would have Wirtz at first, Musiala second, Bellingham third. Obviously, the opposite because they don't watch the leagues. How is he having Wirtz lost? Oh my days. Once again, just casuals. Watch one clip. Who has the best PR? Who gets the most likes on Instagram? Nothing about ability. Nothing about performances. Nothing. Just general bias. In the last one here, Rodgers, Olise, and Doue. Even though I love the Ziri Doue, he hasn't played anywhere close. I mean, he's just in November started games and so on, December-ish time. So Olise, Rodgers, Doue. Yeah, I probably agree with that. But yeah. After watching this video, my message to Sky Sports is please, putting out ignorant content like this when the so-called, I don't know what to call them, pundits, experts, I don't know what they are. But having these kinds of people that don't watch the games, having these kinds of opinions, it just drags down the quality of your show. Sure, you have great graphics, the camera is great, the colors, the shirt in the background, the atmosphere, everything is high quality. But the actual content is complete garbage. It's filled with biases, with agendas. When he said that thing about Dembele, which makes absolutely zero sense and has nothing to do with how he's performed this season, it just shows me, yeah, they're just here to put out their agenda. We hate Paris Saint Germain. We only like the Premier League. The Premier League is the best. La 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 la. It's the biggest like American mindset where you literally just live in your own bubble. Everything else outside of it, you just don't talk about it. If you did the Premier League one, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't care. But because you wanted to put the PSG players in, 4 Paris Saint Germain players. 4 Paris Saint Germain players, and name me how many PSG games you've seen this season. Name me. Don't talk about them. But yeah, embarrassing from Sky Sports. Just having that agenda. When I saw that, I clicked the video off immediately. I couldn't watch the video after I heard that clip. It was absolutely disgusting because we know they hate Paris Saint Germain, but never seen him say that so honestly. It was so disgusting. Well, that's been it from boy PSGINT. Let me know what kind of rankings would you do start, bench, sell for the top ones. That's been it from boy PSGINT, and as usual, allez Paris.